Hey guys, I just filmed this whole thing about living abroad and like running a business online abroad, and I don't know if it's because I plugged in a microphone, but it didn't work. And so now this is round two. So, first of all, welcome to my page if this is the first time you've ever been here. I hope this is actually me. Starting a YouTube is inspired by me posting a handful of client testimonials and then just wanting to take more action on actually growing a YouTube channel. So stoked that you guys are catching this, and this is going to be a space for educational content about growing a business online and abroad, whether you're an agency, whether you're a service-based provider, whether you're a coach or have an info product of some sorts, and yeah, the importance of relationships in your business, really. I think there's this misconception that people are going to give you money and that's your primary goal, is like, how do I get the money from the person? And that's a very common thought in the sales industry, is like, how much, how can I sell? What's the best way to sell? But really people are the ones that have the money. And I think there's too many businesses these days that are running business as a way to just get your money versus forgetting that their clients are people. And so how would you deal with that person with the preference and the remembrance that they're a person, not just a checkbook? So a lot of the content that I'll be sharing about developing an offer and servicing a specific clientele and where you're finding clients and networking with clients and building relationships with clients and how you're even selling is going to be surrounded on the principle of relationships. So if that's the way you run your business, make sure you shoot me a follow, go through my videos, and if you feel like you need help scaling into 5 figures businesses, months, if you need help and you're looking for help scaling into 5-figure months, there's a Calendly link below. So book a time to schedule a chat, and I'll see how I can possibly help you or possibly direct you to some resources if there's somebody else that's a better fit. But yeah, I want this to be a space for education. YouTube has been super impactful for me, and I've been really inspired by a lot of the entrepreneurs these days really crushing who have longer form content on YouTube. So yeah, I also wanted to give back this way, and I love to talk. So Instagram and TikTok are like spaces for 60 to 90 second reels, and I've always been a long form content girl, so emails and YouTube's where it's at for me. So real quick, so we're talking about fundamentally from a high bar standpoint, making decisions from your heart. So for me, I've always been a traveler. A lot of my friends have always been from around the world. I'm a very sort of international spirit kind of heart person. I grew up in a multicultural home. I speak multiple languages. Traveling is a priority for me, and communicating and connecting with different cultures is a priority for me. So for me, hitting that value and making sure that that value is satisfied in my life means that I can travel whenever I want, and I travel all over. And then also being an entrepreneur, and part of the reason that I love having my own company and being my own boss and running my own ship is that I have the freedom and the luxury to then travel and work abroad. So pro tip, if you're on the fence about starting your own business, you can work from wherever you want, whenever you want, in whatever you want, with whoever you want. So just keep that in mind the next time you think that working a shitty ass corporate job is better than really leaning into your leadership and being in control of your life. Not that corporate is bad. There's some people who love corporate and they'll be in corporate for the rest of your life. And there's some people who are entrepreneurs who love running them from stable places. Part of me having a business and a thriving business is the freedom that comes with that, which means time freedom, travel freedom, relationship freedom, whatever freedom. It means I'm not responding to anybody and I don't need to submit any more vacation hours. So, but yeah. So what's been really helpful for me in making quick transitions between states and cities and, whenever I feel like it, is knowing how to get plugged into the local community. So I don't think too much. When I make a decision that it's time to move and I'm not feeling that I'm super happy where I'm at anymore and there's something more that my spirit wants, I usually just check in with myself. Okay, where's the next spot? Where do I want to go? And either I'll get a very clear message as like a divination of like, okay, move here, which did happen to me. I got like that very strong message to move back into New York City at the end of 2021, which I did. And I was there for almost 2 years. And then when I moved back to LA last year, it was a little bit of a softer pull. It was like I was really missing home. I'm from California, but I didn't want to be in kind of the small suburb where I grew up. So I was like, like let me go suss out LA, see what's going on. And there was enough happening and the vibe felt good enough that I was like, okay, I'm moving to LA. I don't know anybody right now here, but I'll just find an apartment and I'll just do what I need to do. And it was great. It was amazing. And then my lease was up in LA in the beginning of June. I went back to my small suburb just to kind of center. And then my heart was like, I really want to travel. So I looked on a map and I was like, where do I want to go? And I was like, I feel like going to Tulum. So I just booked a flight, got an Airbnb, and I just didn't think too much. So for me, making big decisions like this, and what I hope I can empower you with, is that stuff like this doesn't need to be super complicated. I know people who pack for months, and to me, it's baffling. I'm like, what takes so long? Like, throw all your shit in storage or sell it or give it away. Put everything that you really need in a suitcase, or two, really. I've never traveled with more than one suitcase, so I really don't understand people. Like, besides like a backpack, a suitcase, maybe a bag for carry-on, and like a skateboard. Like, I've never really understood people who have like 17 bags when they travel, but that is a total side note. Probably better for a TikTok meme, but yeah, just make a decision and once you're decided, so what you can do if you're a little bit more nervous and you have the capacity to prioritize it is to do like a shorter day trip before. So if you're not quite familiar with the territory and you want to go suss it out and make sure it's the right fit, like say you have more commitments than me. I don't have kids. I don't need to check in with anybody about making life decisions like that. So maybe if you do, or you're a little bit more like risk adverse than me, then maybe go for a couple days beforehand and just like really suss out the energy and see what's up and see if there's a lot of people who are your age and like have the same vibe as you, that you could see yourself living there for a while, even just a month. And then if it's a yes, then, do the thing, which is amazing why for Airbnb these days that you could just book a place out for a month or 2 months, and sometimes those places transition into longer rentals, or you can get plugged in with the local community and ask them like how people do longer term rentals. And yeah, so there's a lot of ways to just quickly transition into bigger cities or expat communities. And with Airbnbs these days, it's super easy. Like, you have a card that has money on it, you can book a flight, you can book an Airbnb, and you figure out your transportation either when you show up, or maybe Google how to get from point A to point B, and then like you're solid. So once you're in your space, WhatsApp these days has become a really big hotspot for like expats and like community chats. So like this was a really big thing. It used to be more so Facebook. So a couple years ago when I was living in Mexico, there was a lot of like expat nomad, digital nomad Facebook groups that people were posting about events on. And these days it's more, for me in my experience, it's much more WhatsApp related. So ask around in the community and meet people and just say, hey, are there any WhatsApp groups for people who are just moving here? And just talking to locals, like just be a nice person, like be interested in people. I think like the number one thing is none of this is like things that you can force. Like these are things that I learned, but they're also very attuned to my personality. I'm a super social person. I love having a lot of connections. I love having a lot of friends. I love going to a lot of invites and things like that, and being invited to different things. And, I'm a big person who likes to go out when I feel like going out. So I seek opportunities like that. And because I'm naturally in that cycle, then I receive a lot of energy like that. So just really tune in, like fundamentally, again, like going high bar, like what is your heart? Like if you just want to move to a new city and get grounded and get plugged in, like same thing though, talk to a few local people, suss out where people hang out, like who are around your age and have similar interests, and then just start chatting with people, like be genuinely interested in what people are doing, what their lives are like, and just look for the people that feel like home to you and feel like a good connection and a good fit for your life. Because running a business is really important, and your time's very valuable, and whether you run a business or not, at some point in your life, if you're being truly authentic with yourself, then you're also really considering who you're spending time with. So these days, I really only spend time with people who are super motivated, make more money than me, most of the time, and most of them are also entrepreneurs and have big dreams and big goals. And so that the more I talk to these people, their heights and their comments like don't seem so foreign to me anymore. Like that's putting it into my field that then becomes like a super easy reality. And I'm spending time with people who are on like much different planes. I love to spend time with people who are a little bit ahead of me, who inspire me. And I don't have a lot of time for people who are not in that space. And I stay grounded in my values of what I'm looking for in a friendship, what I'm looking for in a partnership, what I'm looking for from my mentors. And so I really like to stay in that and use that as kind of like my compass for making decisions about where I'm spending time, who I'm spending time, how I'm spending time. And yeah, so that was more of like a high bar of how I choose to spend time with people once I'm located somewhere. But, WhatsApp groups and meetup.com is still like a thing, especially if you're in the States. I think sometimes they might have that in other countries, but yeah, just look for community and talk to people. And there's just no way you can't make friends, and there's no way you can't feel like home. And when you go out and you go to restaurants, like be nice to the wait staff. Like I have 4 or 5 places here in Tulum that I love, and I know most of the wait staff, and every time I go, like I get treated like a princess and a queen because I'm nice and I ask them like, what's up? And I see them all over town, and it's really nice to feel that, but it's not because I showed up and was like, hey, I'm a fucking, own this place. Like just be a good normal person. I mean, don't be meek and like self-insecure. Like there's a way to be both. Like there's a way to hold your energy and still be a good person and receive like princess treatment or hot girl treatment. But then I don't want to get a bunch of comments that I only have this kind of life because I'm a hot girl. Like that is not true. Like if you are a man watching this, you can still have this kind of life with the same energy, but drop the cockiness. I'm telling you, like drop it. Yeah, I would say those are my main 3 plugs, and just really like look for events that you feel really aligned with. Like I can't tell you what that is. I have my certain events and my things and my values, and I look for things and I follow those plugs, and when I feel inspired to do those things, I do those things. And so then naturally I meet other people who are in that space who then continue to inspire me, and yada, yada, yada. Like the domino keeps rolling. Yeah. But just, tune in to when you feel like doing that and take advantage of your local community and just watch your world blow up. Like, watch yourself start to get invited to really insane things and insane opportunities and clients and just things that then continue to grow your radar of life. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, just talk to people. If you're socially anxious, which isn't really a thing, it's just you're insecure about what people think about you, then just remind yourself of your worth and just remind yourself of your authenticity. Like if you're not polarizing people and you're not being authentic, it means that you're being fake. Like there is no way that you can be friends with everybody if you really are being your truth. Inherently, somebody's going to disagree with you. Inherently, somebody's not going to like you. Inherently, somebody's going to project onto you or be jealous, and none of that is your fault. But it's also not your responsibility to try to fix that. If they want to be friends with you, like they'll make it happen and it will be easy. So I think that's what I got for you guys right now. Drop me some comments below if you need any more clarification. Thank you for being here. Be on the lookout for more content like this and how to utilize relationships to grow your business and just grow your life in general. And make sure you shoot me a follow, and would love if you would send my page around to your peeps as I'm growing and getting my stuff out there. So anyway, wherever you're watching this from in the world, remember to follow your heart. That's the most important. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to want to have a jet setter life and live in a tree house in Tulum, or I don't live in a tree house. I live in a studio loft on the top building, so I have an insane view. But you don't have to be me, but just follow your heart, because that's the number one piece that's going to open up all the things for you in business, in relationships, in life, and then just an overall joy. And like your friendships are going to have deeper qualities. Like your life experiences are going to have deeper qualities if you're always following your heart. And it's okay that it's decisions that you're making that are as different than what your typical status quo is for you personally, or like what people expect of you. Like, good, be doing that. Part of you growing is challenging all the parts of you that were being safe up until now. So people start to look at you weird, or your friends start to drop off, or your parents start to make comments, like, good. like that's good. That's how you know you're on the right track, because you're starting to do things from you and you're not people pleasing and catering to like everybody's expectation of you or like what you think you need to be like a successful person. Yeah, all right, till next time.